Thank you very much, Mike.
We'll await the start now of the 7th round of the championship. We're about 7 seconds away from the start. The flag is up. Can Johnson do it from behind this afternoon? Racing. Colin Bond gets the jump and is out quickly. Longhurst goes with him. Brock picks it up on the inside and Seaton comes for the run as well. Bond will lead them into the first turn. And they all negotiate. Turn number 1 okay. There's Brad Jones going through in the second of the mobile cars. Now through the tight corner that leads them down the first of the short straights here at Winton. Brock the order. Second held by Bond. Third by Glenn Seaton in the Peter Jackson car. And a brilliant start from John Bow. The number 18 Shell Sierra as they work their way up towards Penrite corner. Brocky at this stage with the run of the race. There's Bow putting pressure on Glenn Seaton already. Tony Longhurst is the next one up. Jimmy Richards. Plenty of traffic congestion as they fight their way out of that corner. And they head up to the next of the right-handers. Tony Longhurst caught wide. This is really Village Grand Prix material through this part of the circuit.
Yes, it is, Mike. And Brocky's got a fantastic lead already. Nothing but daylight in front of him, and he must have 15 car lengths in front of him. He's done a great job on that back straight.
Here comes John Bow having a look at Glenn Seaton. Seaton drops to second, and you can just wait for the cheer now. They don't believe it, the crowd here. It's been a long time waiting for Peter Brock to lead. And he does, the first across the line, Peter Brock. Second spot being held by Glenn Seaton, but John Bow already moving in on him, and Jim Richards looking very aggressive here in the Nissan Skyline.
Colin Bond has gone to the pits. The gear lever broken in his car. That was the problem he encountered on the first lap.
Gave Brock a nice break because Colin was on the front row with him, and he must have held up the field while he was sorting out his gear problems, and that gave Brocky an unbelievable jump and a nice one to have. The field is still closing up quickly here because of the many hairpins.
Here comes Jimmy Richards, this time down the inside of John Bow, and takes him too. So Jimmy Richards, the Rainmaster, carrying our Dulux Auto Colour race cam, now moves to third. And if there has been a big mover in this pack as well, it has to be Allan Grice, who started out of position number 12. Here's Richards making a big run round the outside of Glenn Seaton. This is heady stuff. Bang, just a little tap there. And getting sideways out of the turn was Glenn Seaton. So it gives you the impression that Jim Richards wants to get up and race with Peter Brock early in the event.
Just about everyone started on rain tires, Mike, so they'll have a certain degree of grip. But one of the problems that's going to unfold here rather quickly.
Oh!
There we go.
Richards is off.
No.
Seaton.
There's Jim.
What a pity. Well, early laps of the race, as long as they don't get bogged in that grass, they might just... Jim's spinning his wheels like crazy. If he just keeps the momentum, he might get it going. Looks like Glenn is stuck.
Here comes Skaife, I believe, on the inside of John Bow. Moment of truth.
That's George Fury.
Georgie Fury. Now, he started so far back in the pack out of 10. So they're starting to really stand on the gas. Brock leads them across the straight. We'll catch it in a second, but Allan Grice is just making a charge like you couldn't believe. Fury in a second. John Bow.
Grice is up to fourth.
And there's the replay on our Caltex. As you can see it, the touch between Jimmy Richards and Glenn Seaton, taking them out of the racetrack area down onto the infield. That really is a pity.
Brock leads. George Fury running in second place. John Bow third. Allan Grice running fourth.
Very unusual race so far. Greg Hansford still powering along with them as well.
He's at the tail of the leaders, and as such is in a box seat to take advantage of any other mishaps that might unfold. Skaife's got trouble going up the short chute down the back straight.
Yeah, dropping back through the field, passed by Andrew Madecki and Dick Johnson, and about to be taken by Larry Perkins.
Well, it's everywhere. Robbie Francevic has gone into the pit. Loss of oil pressure, we were told, on the Jim Richards car, and he's heading back to the pits. That really is bad luck because he was making one heck of a race of it, Jimmy Richards. But Richards goes to the pits, and there is our race leader, Peter. It is now starting to pour rain here at Winton.
And there's Jim, looks like having to call it a day. He's got his helmet off. He did a great job in qualifying yesterday. Nissan team were on the ball much more than the rest of us, and got their cars well up in the field. And it's a pity to see him go out today.
Coming up to complete another lap, and Peter Brock continues to lead, but George Fury is getting much closer.
He certainly is, Gary. And then it really is daylight back to third. That's being held at this stage by Allan Grice. And he's got the wood over Tony Longhurst as Glenn Seaton
takes the long way home.
Here we go now with George Fury. Peter Brock just a trot unsteady there as he tried to just steadily get himself into that turn, and George Fury is making life unbearable, and all the time Grice is closing on the pair of them. Yes. What a race, the 7th round.
Well, George will want to get by him, because with Grice proving down on them at the speed he's going, George won't want to waste too much time behind Brock now. I would say for sure that Brocky has chosen groove slicks, and as such is just getting a little bit tricky even for him to control.
The top tyre engineer from Dunlop, Shigeki Takagawa, has come out here today especially for this race. I reckon he might have some homework to do when he goes home.
Well, I have no doubt he'll have to at least take the sample of the water back, won't he?
He'll get his shoes.
Again, we pick up on the race leader, Peter Brock, and George Fury just poking the nose of the Nissan Skyline up. Let Peter know he's there and he's ready to challenge.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they both better start worrying about Allan Grice.
Well, in fact, if anything, Brock is probably slowing Fee, and that's making life easier for Allan Grice.
There he is, right on their tail.
That's amazing, you know. Tom Walkinshaw has decided, through whatever Holden special vehicles, not to go running this year. That's taken Grice just to dust the cobwebs off the Les Small car. Come to Winton after being in band 2 weeks ago, Charlotte last weekend, and show that the Commodore at least can stay up there and stay in touch with the boys.
It's quite ironical when companies don't have enough faith in their product to support the people that are working with them, isn't
Here
it?
goes Richards again up the inside, into the home straight. He's got the front.
Fury goes on the inside to take over the lead in the 7th round of the Touring Car Championship. And what was looking good for Peter Brock this weekend, top qualifier and leading off the start. He's now been hosed by George Fury, and Allan Grice is now arriving in the Commodore.
It'll only be a matter of time here as well. Gricey's got a nice grip on the road, and I think he'll... there, he's done it already.
Look at this. Grice straight through the inside of Peter Brock.
Just another annoying statistic coming to hand. This is the first non-Ford Sierra to lead a race since Oran Park, Jim Richards' BMW, 1987.
Gee, that's incredible. Well, there's one thing about this business, Mike. You've got to be in it to win it. That's very hard to sit on the drawing board or sit in the boardroom. It doesn't quite work that way.
Well, the number of letters that we've had from 7 viewers across Australia since this series began saying, we heard all the kerfuffle, Holden was coming back, it'll be terrific to see them take on the Sierras, and it's been dead quiet. No said anything. If someone had said we're not racing to a Bathurst or whatever, I think Holden supporters would have felt that they at least knew what was happening. So 05 Peter Brock is getting it very, very much sideways the last couple of corners. In the meantime, George Fury still leading from Allan Grice, then back to Brock. 4th place held by Tony Longhurst, 5th by Mark Skaife, 6th, I would think, by Brad Jones, and 7th by Andrew Madecki. Let's check them out for you on the Caltex race score. As called, Fury, the race leader, doing it for Nissan Skyline. Allan Grice, 2nd in the FAI Commodore. 3rd is Brock. 4th, Longhurst. And 5th, Mark Skaife. We've got a hell of a race going here at Winton. Peter Brock comes into the pits for a quick stop, and Alan, you might be right about the decision on tyre.
I'm absolutely certain that even though they look like rain tyres, that they were groove slicks.
Yeah, Peter's pretty keen on running his softer qualifier with a couple of slots in it, which just works as an idiot, but obviously there is no dry line out there.
And the full wet's going on now. And his position's not totally hopeless. It can happen to a lot of other people who have to come in and do the same thing, but from observation, it looked as if moats were on full wet to start the race. And it's starting to dry out a little bit now, but as long as there's a slight sprinkle, it'll take time for the track to become a problem for the rain tires.